three more people who are coming.
We'll do meditation again at the end, so they'll get it. They will not
only
miss it.
thing, people may get disturbed. So
Disturb? Oh, okay.
someone,
Okay. So in case they walk in. So we'll do it later then. Second
after
session.
that, yeah.
After the tea break. Second session we'll do that then. Okay. So ready to start? Om Sadashivasamaram Shankaracharya Mattimam Asmadacharya Pacyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Okay. So any questions, clarification from last time or yesterday? That's fine. Because this you're starting a new paradigm now here in this verse.
So, Swami, if I may ask one question. So, yesterday you had described how for the me, since I am aware of time and space, and so I am the truth of time, so I am free of time and therefore limitless. So, consciousness is limitless.
Yeah.
You took the example of the table and then said existence is limitless, and you can't have two limitless things. So, therefore, what exists is consciousness.
Yeah.
In that paradigm, it almost feels like we're pushed down the path of saying it cannot be any other way.
Yeah.
But is there any other explanation to understand?
Like see, if you look at now, this is one paradigm I follow.
Yes.
Like look at what Taittiriya says: Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So there, Satyam is presented first as limitlessness.
Yes.
So when you're saying Satyam is limitlessness, any existing thing can't be limitless. Because any existing has a finite existence, name and form. So you have to shift to their existence, to the content of the form. Because when you're describing an object, are you really describing an object or you're describing some qualities? Forget table. Let us see the content. Wood or gold or anything. What are you really describing? Gold. In India, when you see a class, a lot of women are there, a lot of gold is there. Even though it's minimal, but you find if you collect, there's a lot of gold. Indian women love gold. Okay. I think it's only when you come to people like UK and all, you stop wearing many of them.
You get snatched.
Yeah. So anyway, let's take gold. Now, describe gold to me. Lustrous, metal, atomic weight, molecular structure, good conductor of electricity. All that you are describing is a quality. Okay. What is the content? Because qualities have to exist in a locus. No? Orange color. Where is it? In a locus, cloth or a pot or something. So what is the locus now? If ornament is a quality, see, look at it. Let's start, forget gold. Let's start with ornaments. A chain. Okay. Is chain the reality or gold the reality? Because gold can be in any form. Chain is a particular form of gold. So when you say chain, you're actually describing only a form, a quality, which rests in gold. But gold itself becomes a quality, which rests in a molecular structure, an atomic structure. But atomic structure is again a form, no? It's an arrangement, a certain arrangement of the atom, the proton, the neutron, the particles. So everything you describe will go into form. Now I am looking at the content. This is what science tries to do. But since science believes the paradigm, fundamental paradigm of science is that subject-object has to be different. You will go on discovering more and more forms, more and more forms, more and more forms. Unless you put the observer into it, which is what's happening at the level of quantum physics. The very act of observation influences the object. At that level, at that small micro level, it influences the object. Because for observation, you need light. Like light is an energy. So that is such a fine particle, even that light is enough to affect it. So finally, what will you get? Finally, all qualities, all forms will have to exist in a base which has got no qualities. Because we are talking of now all qualities as global. No? Right from the chain onwards to molecules, particles, the whole thing. So the final thing will have to be something that we say free from all qualities, but something that exists. You can't say it's non-existence because you're talking of a chain which is existing. So you will have to say something exists but free from all qualities. In the Upanishad, that's called Nirgunam Brahman. Brahman because limitless, because if it has got no qualities, no form means no boundaries. When you say no form, we are talking of being free from boundaries. Atomic structure, boundary. Just particles, a boundary. Because it's a boundary that makes a form. If there is no boundaries, there is no spatial limitations. Space and time limitations don't come in. So it exists free from all qualities. Nirgunam Brahman. Anantam. That's why it's presented as Anantam Satyam. And the same thing is presented as Anantam Jnanam, consciousness. Therefore, limitless consciousness, existence is the truth behind everything, including you and me. And that can't be divided. Later on, he gives examples of space and everything. So, one limitless consciousness becomes the basis for everything. One, yeah.
So, Swamiji, for me to take the jump, that
Yeah.
if we take the example of a chain, gold, etc., it all, when you initially start, it all feels I'm dealing with
Yeah.
inanimate matter.
Yeah.
So, when you initially resolve it, it feels as if existence is inert.
Inert.
But to take the jump to say
Jump to
that-
consciousness, because
Yes.
that's where the pramana comes in.
Okay.
Because Anantam Jnana, because the existence of that thing, if it is limitless, it has to include me.
Mhm.
Let's go with existence.
Mhm.
When I'm saying limitless, boundaryless, they'll include me into the picture because boundaryless.
Yes.
So, and I am what a conscious being.
Mm.
So, whatever is existing has to exhibit consciousness also.
Mhm.
So, what is there is existence, consciousness. What exists is consciousness.
Yes.
Is the same consciousness with respect to existence, non-existence. We are calling it as pure existence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And consciousness cannot become a quality of existence, because then you'll have non-existent consciousness. Consciousness other than existence will make it non-existent. But which is not true. I exist, I am objectifying the whole thing, aware of the whole thing. So consciousness cannot go into non-existence. In fact, you cannot have some non-existence is only a concept. What you call shunya or non-existence is only conceptual. Because you will always be there as witnessing that non-existence. And non-existence always, okay. My horns, Hellboy, my horns, non-existent. Correct? I hope nobody's seeing horns. They'll put them into a problem. So my horns are non-existence. Now look at it. This non-existence is a concept of two things, mixing two things. One is my head that exists, all right, and the horns which exist on a buffalo. That combination does not exist. You cannot give me an example of pure non-existence. There's nothing like pure non-existence because we are living in an existing world, not in a non-existing world. Isn't it? We are living in a world which is based on existence, not non-existence. Because the moment we say something like world, what is it? Something that exists. The moment you're dealing with something, it has to be an existing thing. So, shunya or non-existence can only be conceptual. And Buddhists use the term shunya for. Now, I was in McLeod where the Dalai Lama is, and so I had discussion with some of the scholars. So I said, if it is pure non-existence, yeah, it's from shunya that everything is manifest. I said, if everything is manifest, it cannot be pure non-existence. He says, no, we mean that there is none of these things there. So I said, then you're talking about a reality. Yeah, because that's the base for everything. So that has to be a reality. He said, yes. So then we coined the term non-conceptual reality, a reality that cannot be conceived of as shunya. Oh yeah, that is acceptable. So have I coined a new name? Yeah.
I think they mean through shunya, nothingness,
Yeah.
as nothing, as it as
Not a thing.
no thing.
Yeah. No.
As in not an object.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean like there's nothing
Exactly.
there.
Yeah.
Like if you look at a glass,
Correct.
you think it's empty, there's nothing
Yeah.
there, but it's filled with air, it's filled
Yeah.
with energy, it's filled with
Yeah.
think
Something is
probably-
always there. So that's why we coined this term, non-conceptual reality. So have I coined a new term? Nah, it's all there in the Upanishad. Nirgunam Brahman can be translated as non-conceptual. A guna is a concept. Brahman is a reality. So non-conceptual reality.
Can Shunya be an energy form then?
Huh?
Can Shunya be an energy form then?
Shunya?
Can be an energy form.
Error?
energy.
Energy.
They say from the Shunya the energy comes. See, we say from Brahman the energy is coming. They are saying from Shunya the energy is coming. So if something has to come from something, there has to be an existence, but no form, therefore no thing. When they say no thing, there is no form. It's formless existence. That's exactly what you're saying is Brahman. So they use the term Shunya, but the sense is different, not emptiness. Is no particular thing. That means no form.
Not as we
Yeah.
see it through
Yeah, it can't be
Our-
objectified and
yeah.
exactly. Yes,
But Swamiji, if they, I mean, just continuing on that
Yeah.
train of thought, if they are able to arrive at a non-conceptual reality without a pramanam, I mean, in a way, they're subtly agreeing with Vedanta.
yeah. See,
Yeah.
you should remember one thing. Buddhism was not created by Buddha.
Mm.
Buddha was one of our teachers. In fact, we respect him as one of the avatars. In Gita Govindam, etc., is put as one of the avatars. So, Buddha is respected and held in honor in the Hindu traditions. There is no doubt of that. In fact, the terms Sugata, Tathagata, etc., are Hindu terms, Sanskrit terms. Sugata meaning one, Sushtuhu Gatam. Gatam meaning Jnanam Yasya. One whose knowledge is very beautiful. Sugata. Tat agataha. Tat, the reality. Agatam, understood. Agatam, entered. As it entered. Agatam, yasya or yena. Tat agataha. These are all Sanskrit terms naming Buddha. So Buddha was respected. The Shunya idea came into Buddhism 500 years after Buddha's Samadhi by a writer called Nagarjuna. Now, Nagarjuna interpreted Buddha's silence. When Buddha was asked about the reality, he kept quiet. He didn't answer. Why? He talked about the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path is nothing but a life of moderation, which is also said in the 6th chapter of the Gita. Why? You're going to be a meditator. You can't be excessive sleep and excessive eating, excessive fasting, and all. Your mind is not in the balance for meditation. So a life of moderation. He probably thought people should learn these things before they come and ask me about the truth. Yeah. Please. They need to get into that first. Get your life in order, get your competency in order, get your life in order before you ask for the truth. So probably that is why Buddha kept quiet. But the silence was interpreted as Shunya by Nagarjuna. Whereas there is another writer, same time as Nagarjuna, called Ashwagosha. He was the first person who said the Shunya of the Buddhists is nothing but the Brahman of the Vedanta. He equated the two. Ashwagosha. All first century writers, a little bit BC, AD, just that border, this thing writers, they equated the two. Great scholarly people, yeah. But this is where it came from. So the pramana is accepted. Yeah. But it didn't become, they didn't adopt the whole teaching tradition. But they made it a lot. I never found a Buddhist who's not a serious seeker. The Zen seekers, Their commitment to seeking is much higher than us, I'm telling you. Even entering an ashram, joining an ashram. In India, you'll come, you'll speak to a teacher. The teacher will ask you a few things. You'll look at your life. Yeah, fine, come. In a Zen monastery, that's not how it is. There's a small room outside the gate. You enter that room, ring the bell, and you wait. How long? 1 hour, 3 hours, 1 day, 2 days. You wait. No food and drink, nothing. You just wait.
Good test.
Are you serious enough? Are you serious enough? Then the head monk decides, okay, the chief abbot decides, yeah, this guy is serious enough. Come. Oh, I want to learn about this. All in good time. All in good time. Given a broom. Before you learn, you serve. And then you're sweeping the floor. The whole ashram, okay? The whole monastery, you're sweeping. Okay. Because you want to finish sweeping fast and you want to learn. No, not like that. Because you're making it a contemplative exercise. A sweeping is made into a contemplative exercise. Not meant for today's lifestyle. Huh? Yeah, time nahi hai. Finish fast and got to run to work. No. This is monastery. You learn to slow down. You learn to make it contemplative. So 6 months, all you will be doing is sweeping the floor. Do you have the patience to last out? By the end of that, your mind is sort of, you know how to be awareful, mindful, deliberate in your actions. It's only after that the learning starts with day out of meditation, that thing. Yeah. Even olden Indian ashrams are like, and I'm wearing that. Acha, you come to study Vedanta. First, you study Sanskrit, grammar. My God, used to study Sanskrit grammar. It's a tough job. It stimulates this a lot. And then you contemplate. They'll say, Jap karo, tap karo, pat karo. Do japa and pataha, studying. Sit on the banks of the river and just contemplate. Different, same thing, but different methodology. And you're studying Sanskrit. Yeah, I come from with the Upanishad. I was saying, hey, I've been stuck in the Sanskrit grammar. Yeah. What is all this? Then, depending on education, study Tarka, logic. Indian logic can be very, very severe. Okay. The whole term is very, very severe. Okay. Acha. Abhi tayar. Now you're ready. So by the time you start studying Vedanta, 2 years have gone, okay? 1.5 to 2 years have gone, depending upon how soon you can catch up on these things. So the commitment or something in Zen, it is very high. So because of that, people become serious seekers. And Buddhist monasteries encourage lay people to spend time as temporary monks. Why? You're getting an immersive experience into the whole learning process. 1 week, 1 month, people do. Just stay. Which now, in the way I teach, I replaced it with camps in Bombay when I do that. Okay, like I'm going to do in end of August, 4-day camp in a place, in a retreat center. That's it, morning to evening only this. So you get an idea of what an immersive experience is. So you let the whole thing soak up into your life. So various ways of doing it. So immersive learning. So the Buddhists, serious seekers, committed seekers, I like that about them. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you said that the Buddhists are saying that you contemplate when you're doing those jobs, isn't it very similar to Karma Yoga? Like,
Not Karma Yoga exactly, but being contemplative. Yeah. Karma Yoga is a preparation for contemplativeness.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is one step.
Yeah. Because Karma Yoga takes care of your ragadveshas.
Correct.
my worry, my anxiety, all that is.
Right.
Then after that, you don't have worry. So mind is automatically ready for contemplation. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So that's why there are different methodologies. All coming to the same thing. Any other question before we go ahead? Old man, so there's a tendency to answer elaborately. Okay.
Now, by the way, we do have everyone. So if you want
Yeah.
to do
No,
meditation,
no, we'll do it after the break then. We can let it into this because this is very, very interesting thing. So the 11th verse here, no? It says, Eka eva atma mantavyah jagrat swapna susuptishu stanatraya vitikasya punarjanmana vidyate. Yes. Eka etma atma mantavyah jagrat swapna sushuptishu. Jagrat swapna sushuptishu. Your total human experience. It goes into what? Waking, jagrataha, swapnaha, dream, sushupti, deep sleep. He says, Eka eva atma mantavyaha. Understand there is one atma right through. Okay, this is an interesting thing. Waking, dream, and deep sleep, all of us go through it. Each state is mutually exclusive. When you're awake, you're not dreaming or sleeping. Now you're not including sleepiness or daydreaming. Vedanta class, good for sleep. Okay. That's why we keep having tea breaks and everything. So each is mutually exclusive. When one is there, the other two are not there. Yeah. When the waker is there, the dreamer is not there. When the dreamer is there, the sleeper is not there. When the sleeper is not, waker, dreamer is not there. Each is mutually exclusive. If each is mutually exclusive, right now you're the waker sitting here. Did you sleep last night? Yeah. How do you know? I remember it. Now, is sleep a memory or an inference? It's important to handle this also. Is it a memory or is it an experience? I mean, or is it an inference? Do you get up in the morning and make an inference? Between this time and this time, I did not know anything. Therefore, I must have been asleep. Oh, you just get up and say, good sleep. Maja avyo, if you're a Gujarati. A lot of Gujaratis in England, no? So in UK. So, maja avyo. I had a great time. Slept well. Who remembers? Who's speaking now? Waker is speaking, right? But the waker was not there in deep sleep. How does he remember? Same thing happens to dream. I got what all dreams I got last night. Yeah? Who's saying? Waker is saying. But waker was not there. The waker was not there. And then how do you remember? Look at it. In dream, you're not aware of the waker. You don't even exist for the dreamer. Deep sleeper both doesn't exist. But the waker is remembering. How are you saying? Dream is also your memory, no? Yeah. So how do you say that? Therefore, the waker was not there, but the content of the waker, the consciousness was present. Consciousness plus a waking mind is a waker. Consciousness manifest in a dream mind is a dreamer. Consciousness manifest in pure ignorance is the deep sleeper. Consciousness is constant. So now the consciousness gets a name, Avastha Traya Sakshi. You always say, Sakshi witness, Sakshi witness. Avastha Traya Sakshi is a name given to consciousness with respect to the three states of your experience. They're not three states of consciousness. They're actually speaking three states of your experience. Waking, dream, and deep sleep is your experience. You are the one who's aware of all this. So, consciousness manifests in a waking mind, waker, dreaming mind, dreamer, in ignorance, deep sleeper. Then, what is a consciousness? When that question comes, okay, Mandukya Karika says, Nanta prajnam na bahishprajnam. Is not the consciousness focused inside nor outside, etc. It is pure consciousness per se. Chaturtham manyante, it is held as the fourth.
Turiya.
Because it says it's held as the fourth, now, especially in yoga and everything, there's a term comes up, Turiyam, fourth. It is not the fourth state of consciousness. It is pure consciousness. This is important to understand. People take it as a fourth state of consciousness. You know, Bombay is a city of movies. Okay? The amount of movies they churn out in Bombay, oh my God. I think the world's biggest movie industry is there. Half of them are nonsense, that's a different thing. Okay, so let me tell you a small story. I was in Rishikesh for years. So then Swamiji said, go to Bombay and confuse all the people there. I said, okay, fine. So I came to Bombay. So I got down with the other and I'm taking a cab home. So you see a big picture there. Okay. Dawn. It's a movie. It's a movie poster. Dawn. Dawn. Is the underworld advertising so blatantly now? Remember, Rishikesh ke sadhu, I'm a sadhu from Rishikesh. What do I know about these things? Play along with me, okay? This is Dawn. So I'm the taxi driver. Who's that guy? Arey Babaji, this is Amitabh Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan, eh? Achha, okay. So I thought Dawn is Amitabh Bachchan. The taxi goes ahead. Inspector Vijay. Huh? Character looks familiar, yeah? I never thought cops were advertising. Or maybe a recruitment poster or something. You know, with my Rishikesh thinking, you know. So, Arey sir, Bhaiya, who's this guy? Arey, oh, he's also Amitabh Bachchan. I said, yes, yeah. Amitabh Bachchan is Dawn and what, he has infiltrated the police services or what? You know, my Rishikesh thinking, you know, I don't know. Out of touch with the world. You know? Then somewhere else, he's a minister asking for votes. Dawn can be minister, I understand that very well. All over the world that happens. The underworld infiltrates politics. So, Arey, oh, bhi Amitabh Bachchan hai. So telling, Arey, what all does your Amitabh Bachchan do? Arey Babaji, you have come from Rishikesh. Ah, ये तो असली अमिताभ बच्चन है. He's an Amitabh Bachchan fan. He takes out a photograph and says, this is a real Amitabh Bachchan. This is real. Those three are what? False. Limited. Those are three roles played by one guy. Waking, dream, and deep sleep are three roles played by the consciousness. Presented as the fourth photograph. Is it the fourth? It is not the this is the one. Say ekaha. The Upanishad says the same term used. It is the one. Say ekaha. Atmaha. This is that, the Atma. One. It is the one reality. Like this Amitabh Bachchan. This photograph is the real guy, free from all the roles. So I, the consciousness, plays three roles. Waking, dream, and deep sleep. I, the consciousness, independent of the three roles. To recognize that, it is presented as Turiyam Chaturtham, the fourth. Actually, it is the one. Sekaha Savigneyaha. That is to be understood, he says. So, don't present the Atma as the fourth state of consciousness. It is the one reality. with respect to the three, to point it out different from the three, you're saying fourth. Like the taxi driver showed the fourth photograph, so that I can recognize Amitabh Bachchan free from all the three roles. So similarly here, three roles: waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. Who's the one who links out it all up? I. I manifest as a waker, manifest as a dream sleeper, manifest as a sleeper. Sleeper, dreamer, waker. What am I? Pure consciousness. Ekatma pratyasaram. It's another expression used. The content of the I thought. All of us have a thought of I. I am this, I am that. What's the content of that whole I? Pure consciousness. And that pure consciousness is the content of the three states. The three states are superimposed on the consciousness. Consciousness independent of them. Yeah, this is the heart of the matter. Okay. Mantavya Jagrat Swapna Sushupti. Sana Traya Vivitasya. The one who has understood this pure consciousness as independent from the three states. Sana meaning states there. The three states. One who has understood the I, not the Atma as third person, I, as being independent of the three states. That pure consciousness, one who has recognized on the basis of the teaching that has gone before, all that we saw yesterday. He says, Punar Janmana Vidyate. There is no more coming into birth again, birth or death again. Now, birth and death are indications. As I said yesterday, no choice, helplessness. Were you consulted? Did your parents come and ask you, hey, do you want to be born to me? Please come. Or did the Lord say, hey, there's a nice couple in UK in London. Would you like to go? Half of the Indian soul will say, yeah, I'm coming here. Yeah. Why? Pakistanis, Afghanis, everyone wants to come here. But when they're up there, they don't have that problem. Okay, here. You are not consulted. You are not given a choice. Karma brought you, put you there. Yeah. Now, karma put you into Afghanistan. Mess. Now it's up to you if you want. So what do? First they'll go to Pakistan. From Pakistan, they'll catch hold of some mullahs and then they'll come here. Yeah. That's the route. I trace them out, okay? I'm talking what I know for sure. Yeah, because I interact with people. Yes, yesterday and day before when I came, an Afghani was a cab driver. I was chatting with him. I was very happy to be chatting. Yeah. And he thinks I'm, even though in this dress, I'm one of the guys, Indian. And I speak a little bit of smattering of Urdu and say Salam Alaikum. I greeted him. The whole thing comes out. It's a well-known process. But karma, you don't have a choice. You were put into Afghanistan. Now you do whatever you want and go wherever you want. But please don't create another Afghanistan here. You escape that place. Don't create another Afghanistan here. This is a great place. Let it be a great place. Yeah. Karma, you're not given. Death, not given a choice. Yeah. You're not given. Who said no choice? A guy in India decided, no, I have a choice. He took some poison. And he woke up to find a beautiful face looking at him. Oh my God, he must be an angel. I have died and gone to heaven. You are in the local hospital ward. Poison was adulterated. You just went and became unconscious for a few hours and your wife brought you to the hospital. That also doesn't work, say. Yeah. No choice. Attempted suicide didn't work. How many cases you know like that? I know a few.
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of counseling to them afterwards. Now you have some disabilities because you tried something like that. And now you have to reintegrate back into life. It's a difficult job. Not easy. To live with that guilt and the shame and everything and overcome all that. And not easy. If they'd gone for counseling before that, it would have been easier. Really. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is there is a certain helplessness. Or you want to live longer, but your time is up. Yeah. I'm only 35. My life is ahead of me. I just met the woman of my dreams. And yeah, but your time is up. Finished. That's it. Yeah. So birth and death are used to indicate your helplessness, your samsaritva. So what is really moksha is freedom from this feeling of my finitude. Then I'm a finite guy. Nothing is really satisfying me because my self-perception of limitation, that I am a limited person. You understand you have that consciousness, you're no more a limited being. You're a fulfilled being, indicated by the term Ananda. Anandoham. Anando. I'm nothing but that pure Ananda. Fulfillment. See, Ananda is a word that really speaking defies a translation. You translate as bliss, etc., it becomes very experiential. Okay. And bliss, etc., is experiential. So, what's wrong with experience? Nothing wrong with an experience except the fact it is limited, except the fact there's ups and downs. The same experience repeated, is it the same blissful experience? Yesterday, my mother bought some nice Swiss chocolates. Beautiful. They melt in your mouth. Nice degree of cocoa, etc. You take one. Nice. Hey, beautiful here. Mind if I take another? No. Hey, there's plenty of it. The third one, does it have the same joy as the first one? It won't. I mean, they're great. But the third, fourth, imagine 10 pieces. Yeah. But you're a chocolate lover, please eat. You know. Why? Because there's a very nature of experience. You get a great experience, you don't feel fulfilled, you feel fulfilled temporarily. Then the experience dies down because an experience time bound, space bound. Then you want to repeat it the next day. So then you're always longing for an experience. Your sense of finitude now manifests as longing. It's the seeker's longing. That's why if you look at Hindustani classical music, it's all either is about longing for the Lord or because separation, viraha, longing for the Lord, or the joy of finding the Lord. Because you're taking it as an experience, this is a problem that will come up. Ananda is your nature of limitlessness. When this limitlessness that you are manifests in the mind, you have an experience of joy or fulfillment. So, what is a wise person? Simply sitting Ananda. Simply sitting by himself. So sometimes I get a call. Samji, what were you doing? I said, nothing. I mean, you must have been doing something. Simply sitting. It's a typical Indian English. Simply sitting. Simply sitting. If I have to do something, I will do. If I don't have to do something, what will I do? You're not bored with nothing. If there's nothing, what is there? Only I am there. So when you're saying I'm bored, you're bored with yourself. You're bored with yourself when you expect others people to be happy in your company. How is that possible? Ananda simply sitting, or Ananda interacting in a class. This is a serious class, a Upanishad class. Serious, but there's a laughter around. Because, hey, how can you be serious when you're talking about Ananda? You can be roaring with laughter. You can be simply sitting. You can be with loved ones. You can be in the thick of a battle. Like Krishna in a battle. He had a smile on his lips when he's. What is he doing? Killing. God, this guy must be ruthless. Yeah. So someone who knows the truth can be ruthless if necessary. He's all compassion and all love. But if he has to be ruthless, he can be ruthless. Why not? These are all human emotions. No? There are times when you have to be ruthless. Oh, you're a monk, all compassion, and the terrorist is coming. So am I going to go and give him a hug? I won't last to give him a hug. You should be down before that. And he doesn't even ask me, are you Hindu? He knows I'm here. Pahalgam, what happened? He doesn't even have to ask me. It's very evident. So I better get him. Because that's how you deal with that. I told you the Indian Army slogan yesterday. No? There's a board put up. Forgiving the terrorists is God's job. Our job is to set up an appointment for him with God. You function as you need to do. What are you, Ananda? Is the terrorist different from you as consciousness? No. Will you kill him? Yes. Is he different from you? No. Is the killing real? No. Is the birth real? No. Why? Because there's only one consciousness. As consciousness, he and I are one and the same. Amji, the terrorist and you are one and the same? Yes. Can you see this? This is, if you can function like this is what you are. When you have understood the truth, this is what you are. Of course. The rapist, as consciousness, one and the same. As the name and form, lock him up. So there is no problem for others. Try to reform if possible. Difficult, but possible. Try it, give it a shot. Or lock him up so that nobody else is at risk with it. What in functioning you do what is necessary. In understanding, you're fine.
Different manifestations of
Huh?
the same. It's different manifestations.
Yeah,
of the
different
same
manifestations, so
reality.
not a problem. It's not something I'm talking theoretically. Once I was traveling from Bombay to Rishikesh. So I had some job in Rajasthan, UP, and something on the way I'll do. So I had to pass through in a bus through the Chambal areas. I'm talking 30 years ago, when the dacoits were still at large. The Chambal area in UP, Rajasthan, that border areas, full of dacoits. They're called bhagis. They're romanticized in Hindi movies also. Just passing through. So I was waiting for my bus to come because those areas are rustic areas. Only this government buses will go through them. Waiting for my bus to come. I had a small bag. I had this thing. So 3-4 characters come. It's very evident from them, their dress and behavior, what they are. Saying, Babaji, where are you going? In Hindi, yes, of course. Kahan ja rahe ho? I said, Rikikesh. I deliberately used a slang version of it. Achha. So, as a monk, I would never used to wear a watch. Okay. Because the Rishikesh, the whole traditions I used to follow that. Oh, you've gone the money in your this thing? I said, I have a little bit to reach. Okay. What is there in your bag? Here, have a look. Acha, pura bag. You're allowing me to look at your whole bag? I said, yeah. If there's anything inside, take it if you want to. I'm a monk. Nothing is mine. Everything is mine. Bye-bye. He didn't touch the bag. He said, you are a monk, all right. He says, you're not scared of us. I said, what is there to be scared? You're a human being, I'm a human being. You're a bhagi, I'm a monk. There's only difference. अच्छा बाबा जी के लिए स्पेशल चाय special tea. Baba ji, will you eat something? I said, no. Tea is fine. So I sat down, had a cup of tea. What's the problem? What is the fear? What is the worst thing that can happen? It'll kill you, no? Not a big deal. There's neither birth nor death. What's the big deal about it? Then I have to decide, should I take him with me when I'm going or let him be? It depends on my mood in that. If I think, no, I think I better take him with me so that other two will make sure that they don't attack monks just like that. They'll be a bit wary about it. So I may decide to take him with me, and I can. I'm not completely forgotten my old arts. Are you getting the idea? This is how a person functions. What is the problem? In Vyavahara, functioning life, you do what is necessary. With the understanding, you have that limitless consciousness. So are you really doing things differently? Difference is inside, not outside. Yeah. Language may be different. That is certain social conventions. Okay, you will say lunch. With a monk, you'll say Bhiksha. You catching a nap on Sunday afternoon? Not today. Because then you'll have to catch on the class. So when you say you're going to meet this sadhu, I says, I want to meet the Swami. I say, so Samadhi mein hai. He's in Samadhi. Means after Sunday afternoon, after a nice bandara, he's got to sleep. That's all it means. Language difference, Baba, nothing else. Nothing else. Yeah, it's just language difference. It doesn't matter. You're doing the same thing. And some sadhus will have some special disciplines. I will not touch money. It's a problem. Like both of us were in a conference. So the person who are organizing said, this Swami is a great Swami. He's telling me, this Swami is a great Swami. I said, oh, good. Who said? Oh, so and so. I said, I know him. I met him before. No, he really is a great Swami. He doesn't touch money. So I said, okay. That means you have to pay for 2 tickets. Not 1 ticket. Why? Because 1 ticket for him and 1 ticket for his assistant, his aide de camp, who's traveling with him, because you have to pay the cab fare. You have to pay the on the flight, you have to have a cup of tea, and you have to pay for that. Those are low-cost airline flights, so you have to pay for the service. So you're spending double the money getting him. Double of what you paid for me. Your perception of greatness. So I told the monk, now you can do it in India without touching money. Says, how? Says, you carry a phone? I have a phone. GPay. Cashless payment. But I don't have a bank account. So what do you do with all the money people give you? I put it in my friend's account. So link it up with that guy. These are all just, okay, either you can be graceful and say, discipline he has taken it up, or just a front you're putting so that you appear great. If I have to be harsh, I will say, your front you're putting to look great, or, okay, some discipline you're taking. That is not a wise person. That's what we're talking about as a wise person. Wise person in the world is functions like anyone else. It's pragmatic enough. Wisdom does not make you weird. Wisdom makes you pragmatic. You may dress weird, okay? This is an old uniform. This color is a color of an old uniform. So people know, okay, here is a spiritual teacher, you go to him for these type of things. So, but people come for all sorts of stuff. Somehow they believe a wise person is different. Swamiji, my daughter is married for 3 years, not having a child. Please bless her with a child. No, please don't ask me to do that. Okay. My prayers with her. Okay. It's just whatever. I don't want to go into that, but you come for the spiritual wisdom. That's what the whole thing is about. Okay, so in functioning, punarjanma na vidyate, meaning all the sense of limitation that you have, and practically also there is no janma again. Why? What is the purpose of human birth? Tell me. You look at the tombstones. Someone has died. 1945, 2022, COVID victim. 1 dash. That means from birth to death, he is dashing. With every birthday you celebrate, you're 1 day closer to the grave, no? So what is the purpose? If you're born only to die, finally all of us die. Nobody escapes death. It may be a 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 110, 120. In India, we lost someone. A marathon runner at 114. Used to run marathons at 114. Can you imagine? I consider myself pretty fit for my age, but I don't know whether I'll be running a marathon at 100 if I live up to it. Even now, my marathoning days are over. Yeah. I'll have to train for 6 months to get into run a marathon. And this guy used to run at 114. So death comes to all of us. Okay? There's no escape. But then are you living to die? Then there's no purpose. No? You might as well not been born. The condition after that, condition before. Then look at human life. When you're born helpless, then you're growing physically, emotionally, psychologically, intellectually. So growth seems to be the purpose of life. Because you're growing. So where does growth end up in? Recognizing your limitlessness. That's the limit of growth, isn't it? Moksha. Ultimate. Your ultimate destination is moksha. Freedom from birth and death. Yeah, freedom from birth and death. Then what do you remain as pure consciousness, as ananda, limitlessness, as fulfilled being. No more purpose left in life. Samji, then what do you do if there's no purpose left? Enjoy life. The whole thing is great. So the Zen master was asked, before realization, what we used to do? Eat, sleep, chop wood, cook food. Chop fire and cook food. Chop firewood and cook wood. After realization, eat, sleep, chop firewood, and cook wood. Meaning, what changes, tell me? Nothing changes, but everything changes. There are some of us full time. We are called the research specialists. Some of you, those who go for research, a few small numbers, that's full time. So then you wear this dress and declare, hey, I can teach if you want to learn. It's just a declaration, it's a uniform. Really speaking, it's a uniform. And I'm happy with the uniform. Why? All my life I own some uniform or the other. Something beautiful about a uniform. You know why? When I was in a naval uniform, you go in your naval uniform, whether it's a birth or a death or a marriage or something, uniform. Okay, nice. Respect. You get that. This thing. Standing as a uniform, as someone who serves. There will be some peace activists who are not happy with you also. But that's okay. That's part of the game. And everyone cannot be happy. Now also the same thing. I wear a uniform. Whether it's a funeral, birth, death, wedding, same uniform. You don't have to choose, no? Every morning you get up. What shall I wear today? Matching shirt. Just to match. Color coordinate. Wear your accessories in keeping it. Nothing of that sort. Even color coordination I have taken care of. Why? The same material for the dhoti. Same material. No problems. Simplify life. Life is simple. And it's a uniform, which even in UK I face with respect. Like when I go back, there's a screening you have to go through. Their X-rays, this thing, you're screened, your whole body's, you're screened. I go and stand in the queue like everyone else. Invariably, an immigration officer or a custom officer will come in. Sir, this way, please. I don't have to escape the thing and go. Robes. That's it. Uniform, it helps you. Jokes apart, okay? The idea is, some of us may be full-time teachers. Some of us may be part-time teachers. I have a friend in Bombay. He's a married person. He teaches. Nisha knows him.
Yeah.
Nisha knows. Uday.
Yeah.
You know Uday, my friend. My batchmate, he's a married person. He preferred that lifestyle. Okay, he's a good teacher. Yeah, he teaches that way. You choose your lifestyle as what you want to do. Who said after wisdom you can't get married? Wisdom makes you incapable of love. In fact, it makes you more capable of love. Yeah, makes you more giving, more loving, not less. But you said it makes you ruthless also. That also when necessary. So this is it. This is living in the freedom. That when he said punarjanma na vidyate, it means this, that you live in the freedom of what you are. You know, complete freedom. Nothing. Yeah. And then he goes in. Then there's a very nice verse here. Ek eva hi bhutatma bhute bhute vivastah ekada bahuda chaiva drishyate jarachandravat. Yeah, that the folding is a bit different.
Thank you, yes.
It says ek eva hi bhutatma. There's one Atma for all the bhutas, all the beings, one Atma alone, one consciousness alone. But bhute bhute vyavastitaha. It is manifest in different beings. Manifest in different beings. Ekada bahuda chaiva. The one reality appears as many. Drishyate jalachandravat. Like he says, the moon reflected in many pots of water. There are certain ceremonies in India like that. Keep lots of water exposed to the moon, medicinal purposes. Then used for medicine and this Ayurvedic medicine. So one moon is reflected on that. How many moons? One. How many reflections? A million. How many people in the world? 5 billion?
Say 8 will.
Huh?
8.
Yeah. How many consciousness? One. How many lives? One. One life. One consciousness. Few billion people. How many life forms in the whole galaxy? Oh my God, don't even ask. You don't know where all life forms are. Just because we are not found doesn't mean it's not there. Our area of exploration is very, very limited. Only our solar system. That also not all. Little bit Mars, little bit Venus. Some of the moons of Venus. And that's it. Forget it. That's only here. Even then, few billion people. What about other life forms? There are more rats in the world than there are people. There are more mosquitoes in the world than there are people, definitely. Viruses, 100%. There are more than people. All these life forms is what? One consciousness. Billions of reflections. One consciousness. But because we identify ourselves with this much only, I feel a sense of separation. I feel a sense of disconnectedness. And from there comes isolation, loneliness, the human problem. Because we are self-aware, and self-judgmental on the basis of the body. Therefore, I'm this much only. I'm unique. If you're unique, you feel more isolated. You're different. No? And everybody is unique in their own way. So disconnected with others. Isolation, loneliness. And you try to solve this isolation, loneliness, friends, relationships, etc. At best, they are bridges. At best, they are bridges. At the worst, it makes you feel more isolated. Just imagine being in a family and nobody understands you. You feel more isolated. Like people ask me, when you walked off to become a monk, parents must have been happy, no? I wish. Which Indian parent will be happy to see a guy with a good career giving up and saying, I'm going to become a sadhu? Which Indian parent will be happy? Nobody understands me. No, I expected they wouldn't understand. I expected they wouldn't understand, so I was okay with that. So, at best, they're bridges. At the worst, it makes you feel more isolated. Where is the freedom? Freedom is in knowing. Ekada bahuda chaiva. The one appears as the many. Then you're neither you're disconnected nor isolated. Well, you're one of the whole universe. Samji, is that a constant experience? It's a recognition. Experience is mind. This mind cannot feel connected to the whole universe. It doesn't even know the whole universe. You recognize the self, that limitlessness you understand. So then it's a different thing. You are limitless. The freedom from isolation, loneliness, grief. Never feel sorry if you lose a loved one. There's empathy. Yeah. You go to a house where someone has died. You think I'll walk in and say, what is life? What is birth? There's neither birth nor death. Then I'm not a wise person, I'm an idiot. That's inappropriate to say there. That time you'll empathize with the grief. You'll feel the grief of the people around you. You'll do what you can to help. Yeah. By validating that grief. Because it's natural. Grief is a human emotion, very natural. So, what will be a wise person's feeling like? Imagine yourself doing a role on the stage. And this role involves you shedding a few tears. So you go with the pathos of the situation, you internalize the pathos of that situation. Situation is some near and run, etc., all that. And you bring out real tears. When you are bringing out real tears, definitely you empathize with the grief enough to experience it. So one part of your mind is saying, you're in grief. The other part, you're feeling very happy also. Why? My God, I managed to act so well. I did not have, I brought out real tears. So you're feeling successful at the same time. Paradoxical. Now, what can I do if your mind is like my girlfriend? Paradoxical. Imaginary one, okay? What can I do? It's paradoxical, but that's what human life is. The same thing for a wise person. Of course, you're empathizing with the grief. You are Ananda. That doesn't change. So, Ananda is going through a moment of grief. Ananda is going through a moment of joy. Ananda is going through a challenging situation.
So, Swamiji,
Inside your,
so we should do when, me as a this body and mind
Yeah.
experience this
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to understand it
Yeah.
rationally and also emotionally.
yeah, yeah.
When you are in this situation,
Correct.
I found myself very difficult to
Yes.
remind myself I'm Ananda.
Correct.
So how do you overcome?
You don't try to overcome in the situation. That's a thing that many students do. That in that situation, I must overcome. You focus on the learning. You focus on the contemplation. That I taught yesterday, I'll teach again today. You do that until the knowledge becomes natural. So right now, when you are in a grieving moment and you are in grief, let the grief play out. Don't deny it. Accept it. Let the grief play out. Once this knowledge starts becoming clearer and clearer and clearer, it will become more natural in a situation like that. Work the other way around. Don't try to work from here, work from there. Work on the knowledge. Live a normal life. Work on the knowledge. In life, you will live a life of karma yoga, that acceptance and prasada, all that. You live like that.
So
And
you
this-
are trained. It's like a
Yeah.
training.
Yeah. So get the knowledge coming in and let it flood your life. It's the same in yoga. No? What do? You flood the main channel with energy and let it flood your life. No? You're not trying to make this energetic, that point energetic. Oh, you flood. the main channel, your sushumna. You flood it with energy. It spreads all over your body. Same thing. Flood your mind with knowledge. Let it flow through after that. The situation right now you're grieving. Cry. What is the problem? It's all right. You don't grieve. You're getting angry. All right. You'll recover fast. What will happen is because the knowledge of the background is there, you'll always recover fast from these situations.
But you come to a point
Hmm?
that you don't need to recover anymore.
Yeah, you'll empathize. You still have it. Yeah, like when I go, I mean, I've been in this life for next year will be 50 years in this life. Okay, 76 I walked out. In 2026 will be 50 years in this life. So when I go, of course I empathize with people. Of course I feel the grief. At the same time, I know I'm Ananda. Grief is there, but I'm untouched with that grief at the same time. Paradoxical. That's life. Life is paradoxical. Yeah. Of course, there is joy. I celebrate the birthdays, the victories, the marriage. Everything. I don't say getting married. What a pity. I don't say that. I'm happy for them. Yeah. I mean, I use marriage for a lot of joke. That's a different thing. Yeah. Everybody deserves to get married. Why? Happiness is not everything. That's just a joke I use. Yeah. This is just for humor, light humor. That's nothing else. So I toned it down after a young girl one time. Samji, are you really against marriage? I said, no. Everyone should get married, especially my students. Why? Because I have another house to go and say, Bhavati Vikshamti. I'm just joking though. Okay? You need, those who need marriage to grow, please do it. And that is 90% of the population. You need a relationship. Even in fact, I tell the monks, those who want to be a monk also. Like one youngster came and told me, Samji, you're building your ashram. I want to be your student, okay, when you start a course. Youngster. He was just doing his doctorate or something. I said, have you ever fallen in love? No, never. Not qualified. Go, fall in love and come back. Understand what you're giving up. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll fall in love with the first girl you meet in the ashram. Then I'll have to handle that. So go, experience life. Pariksha Lokan. Brahmanaha Nirvedamaya. The thinking man. He got his vairagya, this objectivity. After having examined life. Examined, not experienced everything. Nobody can experience everything. Like someone said, you're not experienced marriage and having a child. How can you walk off and become a sadhu? I said, you're not experienced a battle. Have you? Oh, no. Will you ever think you'll experience a battle? No, I have. So all of us have different experiences. You mature out from the experiences. You can't experience everything in the world. One lifetime is not enough. That's why I lived so many lifetimes anyway. Everyone can't experience everything in a lifetime. But you can have an understanding of things. Based on the few experiences you have, you extrapolate, see life, examine life, and grow. Life is meant for growth until you gain moksha. That's a final destination anyway. I'm talking about final destination in real life, not the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, not the movie. Okay, so that gives you that. The Jala Chandravati says one this thing and different bodies. Okay. So before I start the next verse, shall we take a break? 10:30? Yeah. 10:30 is a break, right? Okay. I'll stick to that time. Not many verses left. No.